Good afternoon, y'all. Welcome to another race in the Super Metroid Map Rando Multicategory tournament. We've got, I believe, the first lower bracket round 1 match here versus DrockyLizard and Imyt. I am Derp, joined by NN. How you doing today?
Hey man, how you doing? I'm doing well.
Pretty well. Excited for another race. We do have the Metroids no MB2 category. The runners have to kill all 4, or clear all 4 Metroid rooms, and then kill Mother Brain 1. They won't have to worry about getting all the ammo from Mother Brain 2. They can just beat the game once they have really just ice and a little bit of ammo, which is why this mode is so exciting. Yeah, what do you think about this mode? And then I don't know how much you've practiced it or not.
I've not practiced it because I wasn't joining the tourney, but I've watched a few matches and it can be quite exciting. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's another kind of like no objectives. It's another setting that can be very fast just because of how little is required to beat the game. Again, you just need ice and then enough ammo to kill Mother Brain 1, and in theory, that's enough to beat the entire game. Obviously, you still need to find all of the Metroid rooms and Mother Brain, but if the seed wants to be fast, it can be done very quickly. That's what I'm getting at.
Right. Interesting, just going over who's vetoed what.
Yeah, like I said, this was Imyt's pick. So, Drocky banned first, banned no objectives, and Imyt banned double suits. So, afterwards, Imyt picked this mode, and then our Game 2, Game 3 mode will be the 2 pseudo-suit modes, the Gravity and E-Tanks, and then the Varia and Water Movement items. And so that is what will go on in this best of 3. We are playing the first 2 races today. If there is a third match, that will be scheduled later. I don't know if that's been scheduled yet or not, but we'll see if we make it there.
And so far, both runners picking up high jump boots.
Yeah, found an early high jump and then got blocked by a missile door. So
Imyt seeing wave beam and not picking it up. It can be quite risky going into that room.
Yeah, the wave beam in the pre-Norfair Reserve. Unfortunately, there is a Garuda that hits for a lot of damage.
There is
So
indeed.
I'm not going to bother with that yet. Wave beam not really required.
Oh, Drocky going for it and not quite making it.
It's a little rough. It's not too bad, though, because we know the only thing we need to go up for is high jump. So Drocky can just go back up and get high jump and then come back down. It's not a huge time loss.
Yeah, he's not lost much at all, really. And there's a screw attack for Imyt.
Screw's a little bit awkward. Doesn't get us to the back
Yes.
of this room. We need the morph ball to get the other item.
No morph, nothing to help kill the Metroids.
Also see a Crocomire, which...
Is this
Not
going to be another
doable.
mandatory croc seed?
Potentially. We need a charge beam for that, though.
We need at least some missile packs.
Yeah, charge beam or a lot of missiles. I don't remember exactly how many puts Croc in logic, I won't lie.
That's a good point. Hard logic. I keep thinking, oh, 5 missiles, let's go. But obviously not mandatory in hard logic, which is
Yeah,
what this
believe it or
tournament's
not.
using.
Not in logic with 5 missiles. Where does the seed want us to go? That's a interesting... Oh, it's the screw attack. We're following the screw back up. We have to go to the left of Parlor. Imyt with that screw attack can just deal with this Garuda real easily, and it's going to grab this wave beam now.
Yep, looks like screws leading to logical progression.
Gonna have to go back to Bryn, up to the top. Still looking for morph, still looking for a missile item.
Is this going to be another 20-minute morph seed?
We've seen a few of those in this tournament.
We have indeed.
It's possible.
Oh, Drocky's still trying to get the wave beam without the screw attack.
Yeah, there was an E-tank down the Terminator,
I saw
not
there
the
was,
Terminator
yes,
hallway, but the
management.
other hallway in that part of Criteria. So DRocky actually just took the E-tank to get that wave right away.
He did, yeah.
Which I don't mind. It's going to make the routing a little awkward since we know there's nothing else over here. He's going to have to go back that way anyways. Meanwhile, exploring this left side of Brinstar, still haven't found anything yet.
Pants. Oh, power bombs, no missiles. And that is also not in logic.
Yeah, I believe you need either Space Jump or Spring Ball for that to be in logic.
I believe you're correct. Although we did see in yesterday's match with Eddie versus Albies, you can do it with bombs. And there's the morph ball.
So yeah, you can't just jump across, but it is tricky. I would imagine we go see Imyt do that, because getting those power bombs now, even though it's out of logic, is pretty useful. You might see Drocky jump down here, but I don't know if it is a good idea.
He's going for it.
Only went down the left side, or the right side, I mean. That is the good side in theory with those super missiles, but... Yeah, Drocky took the save beforehand, so... Just gonna reset back and... not deal with that.
Imyt safely picking up the out of logic power bombs. Might prove... to be useful.
It's a tricky jump to get that screw attack that Imyt got pretty quickly. I believe it is in logic, but I see Drocky having a little bit of trouble. There we go. But yeah, now Imyt's got the morph, and now it's just go back to all of the morph pathways, see which one is the progression. The classic.
Rocky having to play a little catch up here. I'm just wondering how or if those early PBs will come into effect. Checking the backside of GT just for a missile pack, deciding it's not worth it.
Yeah, grabbing that item locks the door behind you, so you'll be stuck in the fight, which may not be where you want to be, with no Varia and no way to actually damage GT.
No charge, no missiles. Rough time.
A bit tough. So we'll see where Imyt decides to go. It looked like he thought about following the Gauntlet Room 2 with those out-of-logic power bombs, but is instead going back into Turian. Potentially to below this powerbomb bridge, yeah. Which, if you're going down this way, I think I would have preferred jumping down the crumble shaft, but that's okay. Gets
another pack of PBs.
So still not entirely sure what the logic is here, because again, these power bombs are out of logic, and we can't jump down here until we have those power bombs. Technically.
Yeah, it's the double-edged sword with the out of logic early items. Is you can easily get stuck on a one-way rabbit loop to nowhere. Oh, Rocky's going for the jump. Yep. Oh, so close. Imyt finding supers.
Jump off the crumble blocks, but it's not very big. And if you mess up, you have to recover basically instantly, or you're falling into a fight that, again, is not possible to do at the moment.
Yeah, the jump off those blocks is very frame specific. Is that the right word? The timing is very critical. Otherwise, straight down.
Indeed.
I'm still trying to figure out where this logic's going.
I assume the logic is to go grab the other item in the high jump room. That's probably going to be either a power bomb or like spring ball to get across to where the power bombs were.
That makes sense.
It's actually an interesting situation where you can get the second item in logic, but you can't actually get past the room because leaving the room would respawn all the bomb blocks, and if you don't have the bombs, then you would get stuck. So yeah, this is either going to be one of those items, or...
Bombs.
Well, there's bombs, so kind of a moot point. So those bombs get you the power bombs, and then power bombs get you back here through this door.
Yes.
And back down to those supers. We figured it out. You're gonna make another attempt at these power bombs over here.
He is. Oh. I wonder if he knows it's not the logical step.
I don't know. The logic is sometimes a little bit weird.
Yeah, I've seen a few tricks come up in this tournament that has kind of confused some of the runners.
Alright, we see our first two Metroid rooms. One of them is behind a Dragon fight. That's pretty awesome.
Another seed with a mandatory boss fight that's not technically required.
Yeah, good news is with the grapple beam, Imyt can do the fight and also get back out. And both those Metroid rooms are doable with the power bombs that he has.
Yeah,
Got
he
the
could.
second PB pack under the PB bridge.
He could decide to clear up this zone right now.
Yeah, it feels bad, but I think you have to. Again, like these seeds can be really fast, and leaving behind things you can do because they're kind of tricky. It's not really something you want to be doing.
Yeah, do you want to come all the way back here after you've done everything
What
else?
Imyt does need to do is be careful about his health if he's going into the Dragon fight after this. You can see he took a lot of damage from those Metroids. But that is room 1 completed, or technically room 4.
And Imyt does have the screw attack, which will help him avoid the Metroids.
Yeah, while you're in the screw attack animation, you don't take any damage, which is nice. And Drocky is really having some trouble getting those power bombs, unfortunately.
Maybe he'll try and find the other pack. We will have to wait and see.
If he did just commit to going down the PB bridge like Imyt did, you will get another powerbomb pack. That is kind of unusual for Map Rando. A lot of times the game tries not to do stuff like that, where it puts items that get you out behind the lock that you need to get them. So like putting power bombs behind that powerbomb bridge. Imyt taking a shot from the turret and not being too happy about it. Meanwhile,
One-way reachables are not in logic, but they can be there, and you can exploit that if you know it's there to get back out.
yeah, unfortunately, Drocky wasn't actually able to see that, given that it was through the morph tunnel. Also, good news for Imyt, that save is right before the Dragon fight, so
It's a very convenient save station.
yep, got as many tries as he needs. I don't remember exactly how much damage Grappling Dragon does with no suits. It's around 220, I want to say. Maybe a little bit more, but definitely less than 300.
Yeah, I think he's fine, so long as he doesn't take a couple of hits.
Yeah, the couple supers of damage is going to help as
The
well.
supers is going to help, yeah. Interesting to say that no objectives and double suit has been vetoed. No objectives is not seeming very popular with many runners. You have any thoughts?
I'm not surprised those are the vetoes. I'm kind of surprised at who vetoed what. It was actually Drocky, who I think most people would consider the underdog in this race, who banned no objectives. Usually that's something the higher seeded player tends to veto, because it's such a short mode that can basically end at any moment. Like it's very much a pick the right way and win kind of mode. At least that's what a lot of people feel about it.
Yeah, that does seem to be the overall consensus. It's down to RNG, whichever player picks the luckiest path seems to win. Drocky failing the jump once again. I think he needs to explore some alternative options pretty quickly if he wants to try and catch up in this race.
Yeah, the good news is it does look like Drocky's gonna jump down the shaft with that save. Probably just gonna save's coming or not. Maybe going the other way. Not totally sure where though.
Imyt's just cleared the second Metroid room and picked up an E-tank for his troubles. Imyt seeded number 15 in this tournament. Drocky's 37, I believe. So the odds are stacked against him, but it's Map Rando, so you never know.
Never know. Nice gravity jump there from Imyt. Have to turn off the high jump to get that, but that's a nice way to get back up from Dragon's room without having to do the tricky grapple escape
Grapple jump,
or any other tricks that are not so easy as just jumping and holding down. Drocky actually didn't keep Morph. I thought he had. Yeah, there is one more awkward thing about bailing on Wreck Ship here. It's that that Croc Major, you're not coming back for it.
Oh, Croc,
so whatever it is, Imyt is not going to be getting it.
Let's just hope it's one of the majors nobody wants.
Yeah, again, even if it's charge, which is pretty unlikely to be behind Croc, which usually requires charge, it's not the end of the world to skip it, because we don't actually need it to kill Mother Brain 1 or the Metroids.
Yeah, I think skipping is probably the wise choice. But I mean,
for sure. But it does feel bad to leave behind a major.
But with this mode especially, I think Imyt's probably worked out that he can afford to just leave it behind.
Yeah, it's something that is kind of counterintuitive about really not just this mode, but I would argue all of the modes in the tournament to some level, where a lot of times it is just correct to leave behind majors, and you don't get to those situations in a traditional Map Rando seed, especially not this early. So it is a little bit weird sometimes.
Oh, Drocky's got the bombs. Yeah, this mod very much feels like an ammo seed for a traditional Map Rando. I mean, not worried about charge beam.
Similar. It's an ammo seed, but you need a lot less ammo.
Yeah.
See what Imyt gets up here, bomb jumping up the entry. Well, there's that charge beam, so again, it doesn't do much, but
yeah. So what is Croc hiding?
Yeah, the fact that charges this early makes me think that maybe Croc is hiding something useful, but
yeah,
don't think we'll be finding it out this seed. Not until the credits, at least.
Could be gravity suit.
Could be ice beam to get through that.
Yeah, to get through the
Bottoon hallway.
And the Bottoon hallway.
Or Varia to get through one of the couple heated rooms we've seen. We'll see what Imyt decides to do from here. Terrain exploration has kind of been a bust. The only thing left is to go back down below the bridge and the crumble shaft. Could also go to the right of the Brinstar elevator. I don't think we've seen anybody do that.
Oh,
or through Gauntlet Room 2. That's also an option. Looks like Imyt is actually going straight for the Croc fight. He's
Yeah.
got grapple and charge, so it makes sense that this item is likely going to be progression.
is he listening to the restream? We won't see the item until the credits. I've got to prove them wrong.
Well, we're
Or
going to get
does he
proven
just-
wrong.
Does he just think it's something that's probably worthwhile? Having seen pre-bot wound, maybe he's thinking that could be ice.
Yeah, and ice is so useful here because obviously it makes the Metroid rooms so much easier, but it also
Oh, speed booster.
speed booster. That's also useful. But yeah, the ice speeds up the Metroid rooms and it prevents you from having to kill all the Zebs to get to Mother Brain 1. Which speed can do as well, depending on how the map is laid out.
And we haven't seen any of the other Metroid rooms yet, so they could be behind a potential speed lock.
Nice spike suit there. We'll see what Imyt decides to do with that. Might be taking this back to the
I was just going to say,
pre-Baltoon hallway. Although that would be a one-way trip, unless you can get a spike suit on the way back. Well, never mind. We aren't using it anywhere.
Judging by his reaction, he did have plans for that suit.
Yeah, which makes me think that may have been the plan, was to try to break Turian, get to the map.
Mm-hmm. Even if he has to reset it, there's a save right by, and it's some useful information.
Well, I don't think your spike suit is stored through a save, because you're not supposed to have it. Drocky, meanwhile, has gotten those power bombs from the GT. Unfortunately, has a lot of catching up to do.
I wouldn't
Turian
really
map
match
is
just
that
yet.
way. So, that definitely makes me think that was what Imyt was hoping to do, but
Yeah.
not on the cards anymore. Also not going to the other side of this elevator.
Yeah.
The map is up, so probably through Gauntlet, which is fairly easy with Screw Attack. As easy as it's gonna get used. I would have just used a power bomb there, but that's okay. Oh, this is actually kind of sketchy.
He's
Alright, Drocky does get
manages
in the middle
to-
of this crumble shaft to get both items. Meanwhile,
Managed to get both items.
oh wow, that was not the answer either. The back of Gauntlet, not being very useful. Just another missile. And Imyt did not save before doing this, so I was going to have to take the hike out. I think his last save might be before... what are you doing, Imyt? Come on! Goodness. Okay, he did save after...
He
Dragon
saved.
Force.
He saved after Croc, right?
Yeah, it looks that
After he
way.
got the charge beam.
So not actually losing any progress, but I think the trying to hold on to as many power bombs as he could, I think was maybe a little bit too greedy. Is the word I'm looking for? I think.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to. Yeah, but he's only got the one pack, so he's probably overly worried about wasting them. But
Well, he has 2 packs. Which is
oh,
why
he does.
I'm a little confused why he's
Yeah.
conserving them so aggressively.
Yeah, he's got 2, so I don't know.
Well, this is what our speed opens up, it looks like. Probably gonna get to check these aqueduct items. Potentially more progression here.
Yep, 2 items coming up. spring ball.
Hmm.
And just the missile pack.
Spring ball implies that there might be more water rooms in our future.
More suitless underwater.
Yeah. I might be inclined to try to get over to that map going up Aqueduct here. Looks like Imyt agrees. Drocky checking to make sure he has the bomb still. Gonna bomb jump up to this item. Need to be a bit careful here. As we just saw from Imyt, this acid is quite dangerous. Actually, Imyt's got other plans. Gonna try to, with the save, gonna check some of these sand pits.
He's doing what I would have done. Go straight down those sand pits.
Yeah. That also makes sense with the spring ball, because that puts this item here in logic.
Yeah.
It's just an E-tank, though.
2 tanks.
Imyt doesn't even want him. I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah.
He's gonna reset. I was gonna say, if you want to get back up without resetting, you're gonna have to go up through Worst Room most likely, and you're gonna want those tanks to do it. Now he's actually not picking up that spring ball at all. So,
does he think he still has it?
I wonder. He's gonna find the bad news if he tries to spring ball jump up the other sand pit, assuming that's over here. You can do it without spring ball. It's a kind of tricky wall jump, but just spamming wall jumps in the too wide gap will eventually let you break the plane. Not even eventually, it just does it instantly, and of course ends up finding double missile there. So despite that spring ball implying that those sand pits might be useful, nothing doing there just yet.
Unless it wants you to collect those 2 tanks for a big hell run coming up.
It could. I'm actually pre-turning off the spring ball. He's also ready to do some jumps.
Drocky just got the charge beam, so will he be going to fight Croc?
Potentially. This actually takes us to the tube for Imyt. And yeah, there's those
spring
water
ball.
rooms. That is where that gets us.
Is he going to pick any of the doors, or is he going to go straight to the map?
I would try to get to the map. It's still a ways away. It's actually a little bit awkward because we've gone over the map. So, well, this isn't what we want.
I'm going to pick the Mickey Mouse item for a super pack.
Yeah, that's technically enough ammo to beat Motherbrain 1. Need at least 18
shots
projectiles. But yeah, all of the doors in Mount Everest are in logic with spring ball and grapple. So Imyt can go wherever he pleases. Gonna try to head down though. This looks like the right way, heading all the way to the left. Gonna get a couple more items for his troubles as well.
There's an item in this room too, and he can get it.
Yep, brought to an E-tank room, and then this might actually just go straight to the map. Like it might be connected to this room. If not, it's very close. Might be a couple more tiles to the left. Where was that grapple beam, by the way? Drocky does not have it. I thought it was somewhere over where...
Yeah, it was before Croc.
Yeah.
Croc was charge beam, right?
Well, Croc was speed.
Sorry, Croc was speed. Charge beam was the jump room. So where was grapple?
I'm not sure, but Drocky doesn't have it, and it kind of looks like that's what's keeping him away from doing the Croc fight, because getting to that item is... Oh, it's down here. The grapple
Yeah, old mother brain.
So unfortunately for Imyt, he's actually too low to get the map now. And over here is a whole lot of nothing.
Bit more backtracking needed.
Yep. Takes a save just to be safe. We'll see if Drocky wants to go for the Dragon fight on 2 tanks and grapple. It's not too difficult, but it is kind of scary. And again, if you get hit by pretty much anything, then it's a reset.
He also knows there's a major behind Croc now too, so...
Yeah, probably going to do that first, I would imagine.
Seems like the safer fight.
Looks like Imyt's headed back up to Mount Everest, potentially going to check that top left door, which I believe he hasn't checked yet.
Yeah, we have not seen top left of Everest yet.
Okay. Gonna go for a
We have some wall jumps.
underwater wall jump, just to flex. He had spring ball and he had the grapple to get up here, but killed the grapple guy. I think Imyt might be... I don't know if it was just totally intentional to reload the room, but I think he's just going to grapple up now. Or potentially, with that save behind Baltuni tank, going to try to get to the map this way.
Yeah, he does have screw attack, which makes getting through this terrible room easier.
Yeah, no way back though.
Yeah, he's probably expecting to reset this. But the map might be very useful.
Mm-hmm. This farm here also going to be quite nice. Get back to full energy.
I'd have still been tempted to pick the other doors before stacking for the map. Oh, he's got the speed boost up.
Looks like that elevator, the business center elevator, is going to take us back up to the top left. And we've made it to the map. Is it going to be Phantoon?
Is it going to be a Phantom?
I mean, you have to check it.
It is.
Of course it is. Imyt gonna hunt for Phantoon over here in this West Ocean. A lot of possible doors for it.
He's not checking the sky item either.
Yeah, actually, he checked the top right door, even though he knew that was also connected to Business Center. Maybe a little bit of a mistake.
Oh, he's checking now.
Yeah,
Just
makes
missiles.
sense. Probably actually gonna check this item first before checking the cubby. I would grab those supers since you're already here.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So is this where the Phantoon is hiding? If not, they're going to be a little awkward.
Oh, it's not awkward at all.
There it is. See if Imyt wants to do some X Factors. You have the charge wave. Yeah. I don't know how much Imyt's practiced doing those, though. Compared to how much he's practiced the Doppler fight, which he is quite good at, believe it or not. a very talented any percent runner. As you can see with the 1 round.
The 1 round.
No big deal. Didn't even
Awesome.
hit all 4 missiles at the beginning. Doesn't matter. What the heck?
That was very clean.
Look at me suggesting you should go for a 2-round X Factor fight. What do I know?
I still think the 2-round X Factor fight would look better. Show off some uncommonly seen strats.
You don't see it a lot in randomizer, but it is a
Yeah, it's
nice when it comes up.
Mm-hmm. Is this map going to be useful?
Well,
Yes
kind
and no.
of. There aren't any more items or Metroid rooms here, but there are a couple paths to Norfair that I assume we'll be taking.
Drocky's slowly catching up. Just picked up the spring ball. Is he going to check the sand pits or go straight to Everest?
Thinking about it more, I do think the sandpit play is better technically, but again, my snap decision is to just keep headed to the map, believe that things work out there. Looks like Drocky's gonna save first. We'll see what his decision is afterward. This map in Norfair, meanwhile, for Imyt is a ways away. Answer chat, and for those of you who weren't around for the beginning when we were explaining, this category, which was Imyt's pick, is Metroid's No Mother Brain 2. So the 4 objectives to unlock Mother Brain are the 4 Metroid rooms, and then you don't need to bother with Mother Brain 2. The fight will end immediately after the first phase of the fight, and that will trigger the escape. Imyt finding a Ridley. He is not happy about it. That might be a required Ridley. Believe it or not. And more importantly, getting back out is not going to be easy. Going to have to do a double spring ball jump. I don't think there's any other way around it. But yeah, there's a lot of Norfair that's locked behind Ridley there. So, very good chance that is mandatory.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any other entrances to Norfair so far.
I haven't really been watching Drocky too closely. It looks like he's made his way back to Brinstar. Gonna leave the Dragon fight alone for now. It isn't in logic with this equipment, if I'm not mistaken. The SPJ looks good for Imyt. Just need to get the last jump.
No problem.
Nicely done. Well, we are on the hunt for items because, as far as I know, we're item locked no matter which way we go. So we need more equipment somewhere, and we're gonna have to find it blind. Or maybe this is the way to go.
Potentially a path to the map.
It's looking that way. Here's another boss that could be required.
Mini boss.
Well, mini boss, but
This city is not making it easy.
I guess in these settings, the difference between a boss and a mini boss doesn't really matter. Imyt needs to be a bit careful here. Not gonna bother grabbing that missile, I imagine. A little bit too Scary with the health.
Nice,
There's our mother
brain.
brain. Okay. That's interesting.
Needs to be careful.
Yeah, really hoping there's some kind of farm over here to refill his health and get back out. 'Cause if not, might have to reset, and it is a ways away. Has he saved since Aqueduct?
I think Aqueduct was his last save.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Could be wrong, but I've not seen.
Drocky not quite getting that quick Dragon kill.
Oh,
Now taking a...
refill station for Imyt.
Well, that's exactly what he needed. So we find
Key Hunter Shaft.
Key Hunter Shaft. Mother Brain is on the other side of that right door. Well, not quite.
But there is an item check here, so...
Another power bomb. That also could be useful, because we may see a crystal flash in the near future.
Will definitely help with that, so it's in these heated rooms.
Alright, so what is over here? Is the pre-aqueduct. We can get all the way up with a gravity jump. Need to jump through the door and then do a little turnaround to get past that ledge at the top. There we go. This looks like it's going to lead us to the map. Of course, we're going the wrong way. The door is to the left and the map is to the right. But this probably takes us there eventually. Right?
Well,
Surely? The other possibility is that there's a long vertical shaft in that one tile gap between pre-aqueduct and Mother Brain. And it looks like that is the world we live in. So I'm going to have to go back. I'm not going to be too sad about seeing that plasma beam, especially if the Ridley fight is required. Drocky really hoping for Dragon to come from the nice side. It is a lot easier to do the quick grapple kill when she's going left to right than it is from right to left. There we go.
He's got it.
All right.
I just noticed in the chat, have we seen Red Tower? I don't think we have.
We have not. I don't know if it's going to be Red Tower, because I think that the map is a little bit too high up to be Red Tower. Because it would have been too high for like the middle door that normally leads back to Green Bryn. He's actually spring ball jumping out.
Yeah.
Essentially wants to save and refill before going to do this Metroid room. Nice. Was that a DSPJ?
We have the map.
We have the map. There's one more Metroid room here, and one more major. It's room 2. We're still looking for room 1. It's going to be somewhere back in Turian. Or towards that direction. Or in Meridia, actually. I imagine first order of business for Imyt, though, is getting that major. The better news is that Ridley is not going to be required in the seat. I imagine anyone would be happy about that.
Yeah, even for someone like Imyt, it shouldn't really be a problem, but it's just a time loss.
Yeah, it's a time loss, and if you would need a lot more equipment to actually survive the fight.
Yeah, if based on what he's got now.
Very, potentially have to go back for all those E-tanks that he got or saw earlier and didn't get. That was scary. Looks like that second Metroid room is cleared for Drocky. I'm gonna go get that major before doing the Metroid room. You can technically do the room on the way back, since you have to go back this way to kill Mother Brain anyways. It looks like that's what Imyt's planning on. This power bomb door is mean, by the way. That was not nice. There's a health refill up here, though. Oh. Looks like Imyt's not planning on it with that reserve usage. Varia should make it fine, though. That's a big find.
That is a big find for Imyt.
Gonna cut the damage of these guys in half, so makes Imyt's job much easier. I would actually do this Metroid room now. Looks like Imyt isn't going to, but I think getting it out of the way, because it's a little bit separated from Mother Brain. I think doing it right then would have been a little bit better, but not a huge deal either way. Drocky, meanwhile, has the spring ball, has the 2 Metroid rooms from the wrecked ship. Now has a lot of catching up to do to Imyt. He's already done with Brinstar and about to be done with Norfair, at least for the time being.
That's our first look at Meridia.
Immediately, the Varia suit gonna come in handy. Don't need to take any damage from these rooms.
Just like the other zones, the map is quite a way away.
Yeah, the map's been kind of rough in this seed, actually. We haven't really talked about it, but
No free maps.
they've not been nice. There's a rare Botwoon fight that is potentially required. Imyt's at least going to take the fight. With Charged Plasma X-Ray is not too much of a fight, though. How nice of Imyt to let Botwoon swim around a little bit before finishing him off with the single blow.
Nicer than he was to Phantoon.
Very true.
Phantoon just wanted to show him his dance.
I'm going straight for the map here in Meridia. See if the last Metroid room is here. It is.
It is not.
Not. So looks like we've got to keep exploring.
Keep moving on.
There was a portal to Criteria in the top right, and that is the only thing left for us to do. Again, we still can't make it through to the rest of Turian. Potentially. I don't know if Imyt actually fully explored everything he could at the bottom of Turian. A bit late for that now, unfortunately. We've got a required Shack Tool late. That's hype. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but like Imyt did have more things to do in Turian, right? Like at the bottom.
Yeah, there was definitely some other areas he could have checked before he came here.
Yeah, because he didn't check either of the bottom doors at the bottom of the Green Pirate Shaft.
Yep. I don't think Drocky's checked them either.
No, he is not. Which potentially could have been a really big, even though Drocky's in a pretty bad position, if one of the Metroid rooms was accessible down there. You know, it is away from the map, but if doing some blind checks over there led to the Metroid room, then that would actually put Drocky in a pretty good position, because Imyt would have to, once he finds this criteria map, which once again
is
all the way on the other side of the world, he's gonna have to. He would have to go all the way back down to Turian to get to the last Metroid room, and then all the way back up.
Yeah, if he doesn't see anything here, it's gonna be a massive backtrack.
Yeah. Looks like Imyt's gonna try to get through those that speed hallway. See if this room is conductive to
the ship.
It is the ship, so pretty easy to build a spark up in this room, believe it or not. With one long floor. So yeah, Imyt is really hoping the last Metroid room is somewhere here in Criteria, because if not, then there's a lot of backtracking in the future, and again, we don't currently have a way to access the Turian map, or at least access the path that's closest to the Turian map.
It is really blocked, right?
No, it was blocked by Freebot Moon, so we need ice or gravity.
Yeah, that was the Norfair map, Norfair area. Alright, we'll find out now.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
A little bit awkward to get to. We have to go around. We can't actually go from the... We can't go from the red tower elevator because that's blocked by a green gate that we can't glitch through. So I'm just going to have to take a bit of a hike going all the way around and getting to it from the other side. But the good news is the Turian knowledge is not going to matter.
It's not required.
Nope. Imyt realizing can't go that way. I'd like to see him check this major here, by the way.
I was just
because like it's like a 2-second check, and if it's ice, it's really good.
He's checking it.
It is gravity, which is also fine. Thought about checking those E-tanks, or grabbing them. You know what they are. But decided against it. Actually, the gravity is going to help a lot in this room. I'm not totally sure. It is... Yeah, this actually wasn't the same pit you can get back across, so it would have had to go around again. Which isn't the biggest deal, but... would have been a bit annoying. Now with that gravity suit can go back towards the entrance to the area. Actually, it might be faster to go back through Red Tower anyways.
I wonder if Drocky knows that these rooms in Everest are all potentially in logic. I don't think he's checked them all yet.
Yeah, I'm really surprised neither runner went to the top right. Or top left, I mean. Oh no. That was a big hopper. Hitting the suitless Drocky for a lot of damage. Puts us back in Norfair. I don't believe powerbomb drops are increased in Metroids for Map Rando. Answer a question in chat. There are a couple other questions. This is we have not had anyone eliminated from the tournament, so all 47 are still in. This is actually the first elimination match we're seeing. Loser will be, I believe, knocked down to the silver bracket. I'm not 100% sure how the gold, silver, bronze brackets work, but there's a lot of lower brackets in this tournament, which is totally fine. Always good to play more, get to play more races. The lower brackets do not have different settings. I believe Cruel Beans, who's also doing tracking for us, shout outs to him, doing a good job explaining the tournament format for us. So Imyt needs to get back to Metroid Room 3, and I don't know if he's going the right way. Or Metroid Room 2, rather.
Yeah, that's right. He decided not to kill the Metroids first.
Yeah, unfortunately, did I miss him doing those Metroid rooms while I was
No,
yapping?
I don't think he's done them yet.
Okay, so it's going to be in for a bit of a rude awakening, hitting Mother Brain and not being able to actually do the fight. So,
Yeah,
watch
it
the
does
player
look
cam, I guess. Gonna be a funny reaction, potentially. Having a little bit of trouble actually getting this jump up to Mother Brain. He's got speed and high jump. You can just run and jump onto the platform. Or do a spark. That works too. Imyt, please. This is hurting. And all that for?
Yeah, he hasn't cleared it.
A wall in the way still.
He's realized.
Yeah. Goodness. It's not too bad. Actually, funny enough, the fastest way back is through Spore Spawn, so...
We might see another mini-boss.
Oh yeah, chat pointing out, what Imyt was trying to do is actually build up a spark to do Zeb Skip. The good news is, if he isn't able to get that spark, which is actually kind of awkward if that's what he's trying to do, I see why he was struggling so much. But there is a Keiko at the bottom of Double Chamber, which can refill your missiles. So...
Yeah, Logic probably counts that as a farm too, so...
I would imagine. It is reloadable. You'd have to reload the room, but...
Not a fast farm, but...
It does the job, and that's what's important.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I like the general decisions both runners have made in this race. I think both of them have done mostly the same things. Unfortunately, Imyt, or unfortunately for Drocky, Imyt's just been executing a lot better and having a few less mistakes. But I do like the general decision making of both runners
I agree.
in this race. So I'm just gotta head back. Gonna grab this missile. Maybe grab the missile out of Bubble Mountain as well.
Yeah, help with the Zebs if you can't get a skip.
I guess not. I mean, this is fine. You can break the first three and then refill at the Zeb,
refill.
or at the Keigo rather. And then from there you only need like 20 missiles. So I assume that's what Imyt's going to go ahead and do. I might actually take the refill from the Kago now just to refill the health. So next refill is going to be guaranteed to be missiles.
Yeah, that's a smart move.
Or actually, this is just enough, isn't it?
Yeah, he has enough.
Yeah, using the supers on the Zebs. I was thinking all missiles, but no, this just works. Even if he doesn't kill Mother Brain 1, because he's already killed the Zebs, it's not the biggest deal, but this is looking fine. And so, we are on to the escape. Gonna have to head back to Meridia. And from Meridia to Criteria, and then luckily the ship is right at the entrance of Criteria, basically. So it is just the fastest way to get back to Meridia, which I think is back through Spore Spawn again, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that's the path you'll take. 2 minutes 20 escape.
Considering his options there. Actually going up that way through Plasma Spark Room. Yeah, I'm actually going to reset. Back to it. Just to restart the timer. Don't know if it was necessary. There's only one room out of the way, but... Gonna head up this way, go back to Bubble Mountain the way he got there the first time. And then to Meridian.
Rocky onto the final, third Mother Brain room.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, not a bad play at all, just Imyt's been executing so much quicker.
Drocky actually died to the Metroids. That's... I don't
Just
know
as I say,
how
not
far
a bad
back
play.
that is. I don't know how far back that puts Drocky.
Well, he's still in the same area, so...
Yeah, not too far back, but
But still, it is a setback.
it's a setback. The other good news, it's not going to matter too much with Imyt on the escape.
There is that too.
Looks like Drocky's gonna take some refills this time. Make sure he enters the Metroids at full health. Nice little clip there from Imyt. So in Meridia, we need to get to Big Pink. And it's just going to take the route he got there the first time, and then it is the top right of Big Pink that leads back to Criteria.
And then the ship is basically right there.
Yeah, it's just, you just hold right basically, and you'll find your way there. Yeah, well done from Imyt in this race. This was a little bit of a deceptively bad seed with how far away every single map room was, basically.
Yeah, every map was not easy.
Yeah, none of them were very accessible. The Turian one we never even saw. But that is Imyt finishing with an official time of 1:03.16. Drocky going to forfeit soon after. Number 2 of this best of 3 between Drocky and Imyt. Imyt took home game 1 in a pretty rough map. Item progression wasn't too bad, but the maps were pretty much inaccessible across the board, and saw both runners struggling with that a bit. But we are now onto a fresh, clean slate for both runners. going to be playing the Gravity 9+1 category, starting with Gravity Suit, 9 energy tanks, and 1 reserve, allowing us to do all of the water rooms and, while not as comfortably, most of the heated rooms as well are doable. Imyt finding a Morphball right off the bat. I assume he's going to be happy about that. That Morph will actually get him through this Cack Alley. Allows him to go to the left. Assume we'll see the same thing from Drocky, getting that Morph Ball, seeing that the map is all the way to the left. But Drocky's going to go the other way, going to be heading to the right first. Little gravity jump required to get across. So I guess the same question from Game 1 for NN.
Yep.
You've done a lot of comms for this tournament. You've seen a lot of seeds. What are your thoughts on this mode in general?
On Gravity 9+1, it's interesting idea, but I'm just trying to work out the best way to explain this. It can lead to some pretty bad seeds.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You've got the tanks to basically do any of the hell runs. It's kind of like Double Suit in a way. Double Suit Light.
Yeah, it is one of the 2 Double Suit Lights, and I think, in my opinion at least, it's the worst of the 2.
Yeah, definitely.
There are a lot of situations where some not so fun things are required. Imyt
Needing to
X-ray
reset.
under the bridge and being very sad. Drocky also in a very sad spot here. Luckily gets that gate glitch in the 5 attempts, but tried to go to the bottom of Green Hill and just found a save. But yeah, I'm not personally the biggest fan of doing hell runs, and then the possibility of doing like a suitless Ridley or something like that. It's definitely more common in these settings, I would say.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it a lot more in this tournament.
The other thing I don't like about it, you're getting 11 items right off the bat, so more than 10% of the items are just missing. You saw the first one there for Drocky, that first power bomb in the Alpha Power Bombs room.
It was just a nothing.
Not there.
Technically, he's already got it.
Yeah, technically it was one of the items he already has, but we're not exactly in a position where we want to be seeing items missing.
Imyt coming across Dragon.
Yep. Also coming across a new area, this Turian.
It was in Turian. There's just not a lot he can do with it at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know if we've looked at where the map is yet.
I don't think he's hit the pause screen just yet.
Maybe checking out all these branches first. Doesn't have those missiles that Drocky was able to find at Green Hill, though.
This is a mode that Drocky did pick himself, so...
Yeah, this is Drocky's mode pick. So presumably feels comfortable with it. Or at least comfortable enough to...
Yeah, he did seem to struggle
in
the water rooms last game.
Imyt finding another room he really does not want to see in the amphitheater. Can technically go through it, but that would be a likely one-way trip.
Yeah, I wonder if that's in logic with the amount of tanks he has.
Yeah. I'm also kind of surprised Imyt isn't grabbing that X. Okay, he's going back for it now. Gets that power bomb. That is in logic as far as I can tell. That will get Imyt
Potentially
through
open.
the last door in Red Tower. Already has that morph ball.
Yep, potentially on the last door.
Drocky has gotten back to where Imyt was earlier at that early supers. Also went for the X-ray and didn't get it, it looked like. Oh no. Good news is the save is right next to it. We're going to see a bit of a high five. Or even more.
More than
They're
a
just
high
holding
five.
hands on their way back through.
They're both scared to go through the door alone. Is anyone?
It's a scary world out there.
Imyt is
Drocky
definitely
is having a
one
little
that
bit of trouble
X-ray,
with this.
and he gets it.
Drocky having some trouble with the mock ball. He's jumping. He's running in the room with too much run speed and actually jumping into the crumble shaft.
Yeah. And that X-ray Imyt just picked up wasn't in logic either in the hard mode.
Well, it should be with power bombs, right?
Oh, he's got power bombs now, sorry. But without bombs, he did try and pick it up earlier. That wouldn't have been the logical step. But
that's a nice grapple beam find, by the way. Going to make that Dragon fight a lot more doable. Drocky actually headed the other way. Having a little bit of trouble with that early super room, so he's going to check out somewhere. Unfortunately, a green door is all he finds.
Imyt finally picking up some missiles.
Yeah, really looking for this criteria map, which I believe is the other way, actually. So, just checking this out, blind. Drocky's found his way to Turian, going to find the same information. Although there was a missile door up here that Imyt couldn't get through, that Drocky can if he wants to continue. Without the high jump, though, you can't get to the top in logic, so... Drocky, you're going to need to get that first. There we go. Just fall through the platform right at the end, but we made it to the end, so it's alright.
He gets the high jump. He can go and check that red door now.
Yeah, if he wants to go back to Red Tower. He'll make it there. Doesn't have those power bombs yet that we saw Imyt grab, so can't get the grapple. It's actually a little bit awkward. There's a lot of back and forth required here. If this is a progression chain, getting that power bomb to get the grapple to do Dre. A lot of back and forth for the early game. Also means Drocky won't be able to grab those supers that were also behind the bomb wall behind Morph.
Yeah, he needs to go and pick up those PVs.
So what will Drocky find?
Imyt head into the super door was here?
Yeah, super door.
Grab maze. But
He wants to get some power bombs from these crabs. There's one. And there's another. Well, there's more long rooms to head through. But the map is this way.
Drocky
getting those
PVs.
power bombs. Really well done. I'm not gonna see... What was the room at the bottom of that?
It was heat. Amphitheater?
Yeah, it was Amphitheater.
And he's gonna find out right now.
Both runners jumping straight into it and not being able to get back out.
Neither of them is hoping to see what's on the other side.
Okay, so... Imyt finding some interesting news. There's another boss over here, this Ridley.
Ridley was over there, yeah.
Over by the map. Drocky actually needs to be a bit careful here. There was a major at the top of West Ocean that was locked by Botwoon, which we don't have the ammo to kill yet. Oh, Drocky.
Rocky's struggling with the crumble jumps.
There we go. Okay.
Luckily, just about makes it.
A little scary, but we made it through. But yeah, nothing for us to do in Criteria just yet. We will have to come back. That major is likely... Well, might be important. It could be a filler.
It looks like there's going to be a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, the back and forth is continuing for the seed. Imyt eating a bowl of some kind of soup. Or cereal, I couldn't tell. Somebody who watches more Imyt than I do can let me know.
Imyt getting the right side grapple, the easiest side to do.
Yep. Drocky, meanwhile, getting to this red door that Imyt saw earlier but wasn't able to do. So we'll see if this is anything good.
This could be.
Potentially.
There is an item check here for Drocky to check, so...
That there is.
Nice.
Just a missile, though. See if Drocky wants to keep going this way. It's a bit unfortunate. This is going to lead him away from what we know is the rest of the early game progression with those that grapple and the supers. It looks like Drocky is going to head back that way, potentially. We're actually just reloading the room to light everything up.
Reloading the room to light it up, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's two more doors at the top of this room. It does lead towards the map.
That it does. Imyt's also heading up this way. Well, that's not the map. Ooh, Drocky taking a few more hits than you'd like. And just for another missile.
Just about makes it out.
Looking a bit scary. Hoping that Drocky doesn't come across any more heated rooms, because they're not really doable at the moment. Another branching path. So the map is straight to the right, from the tube.
And he goes left.
If I'm not mistaken.
Maybe just
left first. Doesn't want to be there. Gonna bail as soon as possible. This might be a Metroid room, actually.
Oh, it's heated. Acid snakes.
But it is a heated room. Imyt gonna be able to do that just fine, and again, that is the path to the map, so...
Yeah, he has the grapple. And lots of health.
Yeah, Drocky paused and got the bad news that that is the way he wants to be going, but... With no health and no grapple, not really an option at the moment. Really looking for a refill of some kind.
Two mages.
Drocky is trying to head to the top right, which, as we see on Imyt's screen, is where the majors are in this area.
Yeah, he will blind a couple of mages if he does go that way.
And that way he is headed. So that's good for him.
Spring ball?
Spring ball, not really what you want to find when you already have gravity, but not a bad item.
And he's continuing on to the second major.
Yep, here's the nice kind of a refill. Can farm some of these enemies at least for health. I believe there's the elevator down to Rex ship, and then to the right is the major. Imyt's actually farming all of these enemies, trying to get as many supers as possible. Refill those back up. An ice beam.
Ice beam.
We find, and a space jump. So actually, two majors.
He can check the map now, Drocky, if he refills his health.
Wouldn't be a bad decision. I actually wouldn't have hated just going down that elevator too, just blinding it, but it's going to instead go back to Mount Everest. Probably check all of those doors with that space jump first, or head to the map. We'll see. The health is still looking a little bit sketchy.
The wreck ship map for Imyt is quite a way away.
Yeah, the maps are continuing to be a bit of a problem for these racers in these seeds.
Yeah, these two seeds have both had very far maps.
Yeah. Also worth noting, these maps, or these runners have not found any good refills here in the early game, which really feels bad for the category. All those E-tanks aren't really going to serve you very well if you can't fill them up. If I'm not mistaken, this is technically... It's possible to do Botwoon on this ammo. Like, exactly possible, but I have a sneaking suspicion Imyt does not want to do that.
Yeah, 15.
Actually found a Norfair here at Rex ship, so another newer area. Drocky finds Botwoon hallway. I may have been tempted to follow that with the ice beam. It seems like that's what the logic would have wanted.
Has
Get that ice and
return.
We can use the ice to get back.
Imyt finding a nicer farm.
Yeah, there's finally a decent farm. Not a refill, but we'll take it. Just being stingy with the supers, which is what Imyt's really looking to refill.
Still only has one pack. Okay, back to farming.
Yeah.
What is this map?
So how do we get to that map? Neither of those top doors are the answer, or those left doors, I should say. That's a little awkward. Yeah, Imyt's scanning around. It's looking like just heading into Norfair is the play, or potentially blinding the other side of Turian. Neither of those are things you really want to do, though.
Rocky got the map, and he made it back just about.
Yeah, still wants somewhere to refill the health, and again, there really isn't a great spot.
Yeah, we've seen no refill stations either, right?
We've not seen a refill station yet.
And one decent farm.
Well, Drocky hasn't even made it to the decent farm yet. It's down in Rex ship.
Down in Rex ship.
Headed that way now, though.
Finally a second power bomb pack for Imyt.
Yeah, the real struggle, for Drocky is that he hasn't gone back for those supers in that grapple.
Yeah, that grapple is...
Yeah, being able to get the Dragon done and, have the supers. Oh, this is scary. Boulders deal 30, I believe, with a suit.
He has the gravity suit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they both do 50% damage reduction in map rando with only one. Either way, he makes it back. There's an okay farm here in Red Tower if you want to farm the two bugs here in the center. I've spent many a seed sitting around those farming. The trick to doing it quickly is that if you stand on the edge, the bottom one spawns, and then jumping over the bottom one will cause the top one to spawn. So you can get into a cycle there. It's not great, but again, the farm spots are lacking here in this early game. For Drocky, who is... I believe he just saved, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he did.
He's face planting into a cactus. Not where you want to be.
Yeah, they have the same loadout this time, right? Same items, same ages. Just the ammo situation, the grapple beam.
Yeah, the grapple beam, the big story at the moment.
Oh,
there's a new
plasma for Imyt.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice. Once we find the charge. Going to make Ridley and Mother Brain a lot.
A double refill station for Drocky.
There we go. Oh yeah, we did see this earlier.
Yeah, we saw this.
The one refill, all the way in the corner of Criteria. I guess funny enough, this is basically where we started, so...
We have...
That's where the one refill is, at the beginning.
Regression.
Problem is, we really need Drocky to go to that grapple beam for his sake.
Yeah, well, he's seen Dragon, so should be hunting about for a method to deal with it.
Yeah, also can get that X-ray now.
Yeah, but he has PBs now.
Drocky turned off space jump. I wonder if he meant to turn off high jump. Well, gets the mock ball either way.
Didn't pick up the X-ray, but maybe he's planning on coming back.
I would assume so. It makes more... Or it works out better to pick it up on the way back. And there's that
Finally
grapple.
got this grapple. Now you should take that straight to Dragon.
Yeah, it might go for the Criteria map first with those supers. But... good for him. Unfortunately, kind of just retracing the steps that Imyt's already made. Imyt, meanwhile, deep into Wreck Ship at this point, has found his way on the left side where the map is.
I did see Croc Speedway, but I don't think it's a problem at the moment.
Yeah, I didn't get a good look at the Wreck Ship map.
Yeah, barely caught it.
Another last try gate glitch in this race. This time by Imyt. Here's our map. Is this going to be Fantoon?
It could be. It is not.
Okay.
That is a very desolate wreck ship.
Yeah, not much else. I think we're going to see Imyt reload. Go back to the other side. Actually, all the way back to Norfair.
All the way to Norfair. Did he not take a save?
I think he's got to go back for Plasma. If I'm not mistaken. No, he's got it. What does the seed want us to do, though? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, what was the last thing they picked up?
Well, the last big item Imyt picked up was the Plasma. But that doesn't unlock anything.
That doesn't unlock anything, though.
Looks like we're just blind checking through Norfair. Well, good news is, it leads us to a nice room.
A room with several items. Hopefully a bit of progression.
Hopefully.
Charge beam.
Let's go mode, in theory. We know where Ridley is. There's that burn star that Imyt never explored on the other side of Criteria.
Yeah. We haven't found Fantoon yet.
No, we have not.
Or
There's also
Craig.
the major that's locked behind Botwoon that's now pretty trivial with the charged plasma X-ray, as we saw last race.
Yep. Are we going to see a repeat?
I think Imyt's first trying to get this Norfair map, make sure there's no bosses here. Still looking for Mother Brain as well. That's Craig and Fantoon. Yeah. This is a little bit sketchy. This is the map, but I wonder if Imyt doubles back. He has enough health to do this, but this could get scary.
He's going for it. Into another heated room.
This might get scary. And of course, the map is all the way at the bottom. I think Imyt's prepared to just reset out and then go back and grab that charge and screw. Yeah, there's nothing over here. There's one more major connected to Red Tower. Or a couple rooms in the middle. Looks like there was a Mother Brain at the top.
No, it's Prayed.
Thought I saw a bunch of X's. Yeah, we're gonna reset, go back, get those items, probably get that last major, and then get Kraid out of the way.
So Ridley and Mother Brain still yet to be found.
Fantoon and Mother Brain. Ridley's over in Criteria.
Yep, that's it. Fantoon and Mother Brain.
Rocky having a bit of trouble getting this.
He struggled last race too.
Yeah, I mean Dragon hasn't given him the good.
It was the same side.
Yeah, there we go.
And he gets it. So Imyt going back to pick up Charge Beam and Screw Attack, was it?
Yeah, Charge and Screw. And then there's one more major at the top right of Fish Tank.
Would you go for it?
I would. It's 2 rooms away.
Will Imyt go for it?
I would hope so. Looks that way.
Looks that way, yeah.
Yeah, with the gravity suit, this room is not too much of a struggle. One of the worst rooms in the game without gravity suit, but it's the benefit of this category, I suppose.
I think that's why Drocky picked it.
Well,
and it's Spazer.
If you were an item skipper there, would have been rewarded by not hitting Spazer.
Yep.
I'll grab this X as well. Kraid requires a trip through Keyhunter Shaft. That's always nice. Also, there's a portal to Meridia. I don't believe we've seen Meridia yet.
We haven't.
I didn't think so. We haven't seen Meridia and we haven't seen Bryn. Yeah, we've seen the other 4 areas. So Fantoon hiding in one of those 2.
Mother Brain too.
Yeah, Mother Brain as well.
Are they together, or is he gonna have to do both? And are the map stations going to be any easier to obtain?
Yeah. Actually, I think Imyt goes back to Criteria here. Yeah, he's got the power bombs equipped. You want to get Ridley out of the way, so it's not the most comfortable Ridley fight. But 9 plus 2, 15 supers. Charge Ice Plasma does as much as a super, so it's 15 supers, 15 charge shots. It looks like Imyt's actually going to get this major behind Botwoon first. Even if it's bad, there's a ship refill over here. That's going to be nice.
Yeah, and with the charge, plasma, and X-ray, the fight's not very long either.
Yeah, or potentially headed to Bryn first. Don't mind this either. It is close. You're really hoping the game ends in the area you don't check. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you went to Meridia first, you were really hoping the game ended in Bryn, and going to Bryn, you're hoping the opposite. So it wouldn't be too bad if both bosses are here in Bryn, and then you just have to do a quick backtrack to Ridley. Imyt didn't even check where the map was. Just check the room and left. Okay, we're coming back.
Free map?
About time, honestly. But how free is it really?
No, it's not free. Troll map. And he doesn't have speed either.
No, he does not. Would have to snail
He
clip
could
for
snail-
those
Yeah,
items. See if anything is up here. Doesn't look like it.
nothing. Reset.
So we're gonna try to get to the map from the other way, I imagine. Or we're gonna check the other sand pit?
Or peek the items, but it wouldn't be speed up there.
Okay, Imyt's gonna save the power bomb and go in through the top.
Yeah.
Or
He has X-ray. He could X-ray climb.
I'm
through.
so. Why does Imyt do everything I? As soon as I say he's gonna do something, he does something else. I swear, he's got to be doing this on purpose.
I said in the previous race he's listening to the stream. Drocky into the big pink, picking up the screw attack.
Yep, got that screw in the charge. And for the map, I don't remember where it was in Norfair. Oh, I do remember where it was. It was through a bunch of heated rooms. So that refill could help. Potentially let Drocky get back without resetting.
Drocky doesn't have plasma beam either.
Yeah, the plasma was... Imyt hit it blind. I don't remember where, actually. I think it was somewhere in Norfair. Wreck ship. Yeah, it was like at the top of wreck ship or something
Yeah.
like that.
So finding Spacer here wouldn't be the end of the world.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad, although... Given that the seed seems to be pushing us towards the suitless Ridley, you'd much rather have the plasma than the spazer.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Well, Imyt sees that refill down there. I think he passed a full refill on his way. I'll take this refill instead for Ridley. Okay, so chat pointing out the logic for Imyt, and this actually makes sense. I did not catch it, but Imyt knows that Phantoon is in one of the last two areas, and he saw a sandpit directly to the right of the map, so he knows that it's not a Phantoon map. So he's going to check the other area first, and either Meridia will have Motherbrain and Phantoon, or it will have just Phantoon and Motherbrain's in Brinstar, which is where we end the game. So there's actually a really good heads-up play for Imyt there.
Yeah.
You did not catch that. That's
Yep,
good play.
same. So Imyt's going to do Ridley then. Head to Meridia and see what's there.
Yeah, this is the best time we have to fight Ridley, so...
Yeah, yeah, you wouldn't want to leave Ridley here then.
Because if both bosses are in Meridia and you do it before Ridley, then there's a long
Yeah,
backtrack to get
Long
back.
backtrack.
So, Imyt entered this fight with 12 supers, gonna need 18 total charge shots. About halfway done. I would have liked to see him use the supers at the end instead of at the beginning. That's okay. Need a couple more, I believe. Nicely done.
Nicely done.
Yeah, 9+1 Ridley is not too bad. Obviously, having to use charge shots slows the fight down quite a bit, but you have a lot of health as long as you aren't taking a ton of hits from Ridley. It's not too bad. Imyt making quick work of him.
And the screw attack does help, as long as you don't get caught by the tail, so...
Yeah, the tail will hit you even when you're through
When you're
screw attack, but it will allow you to pass through the body of Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
Drocky going over to get that Spazer Beam. Nice save here as well. So, where do you think Drocky goes from here, would you say?
I was just thinking about that exact question. Is he going to go and try and do Ridley, or...?
I don't think so. We might actually see him go up to Meridia. Potentially. Go get that crate out of the way.
Yeah, I think that's probably what will happen. Although, yeah, he's been to Rick's ship. Oh, there was Plasma, I saw. Up the elevator.
I see.
Maybe he'll check the mages first.
Yeah, I don't think Imyt's going to be fighting Batoon. No real need to. You've done the hard part of fighting or beating the game without Varia with that Ridley fight, so should just be relatively smooth sailing from here.
So if Mother Brain is not here in Meridia, he's going to have to trek all the way back to Brinstar.
Yeah, which also isn't actually that bad because Brinstar is right next to the ship, so you're going to have to go back that way anyways. If anything, you might prefer it as long as Mother Brain is fairly close in Bryn, because it makes the escape a lot easier.
Yep. So what was it, 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the previous race, the escape time?
Yeah. If Mother Brain's in Meridia, then we're probably looking at around the same time. If it's in Bryn, it should be a lot shorter. Well, Drocky has beaten Imyt to Kraid.
Are we gonna get some DLC?
Maybe. Kraid is really trying to give him the DLC. Drocky will begrudgingly accept, it looks like. Kraid just being a little too silly.
Level 2 unlocked.
Need one more super. There we go.
Goes Kraid.
Unfortunately, this doesn't actually lead us to Meridia. We have to go all the way back down. Keoner Shaft.
I think he's just going to take the save station.
Makes sense. If you really want the E-Tank, you can fight Croc for it. That also takes you halfway down Key Shaft, but I think that might be a little bit too silly.
Nice quick kill on grade there by Imyt.
Nicely done for sure. And he's not even going to take the save. He's just going straight back down. Yeah, with the screw attack and all the tanks getting through, Key Shaft isn't too bad.
He's going to go right into Meridian.
So we'll see if Meridia has... We know Fantoon is somewhere here.
Yeah, we've checked all the other... Well, seen all the other map stations. And he cannot be in Brinstar because of the layout of the map. So it has to be here.
Has to be here, and it's
You
actually
found Mother Brain.
quite close, believe it or not.
Drocky has found Mother Brain hiding in Parlor.
So
Imyt
maybe
walking straight on by.
Yeah, not going to bother with that, just trying to get straight to the map. There's
Yeah,
a major, a wave beam.
Wave beam. So the game will end in Meridian.
Yep. This is where the last two bosses are.
Imyt's about to blind Mother Brain. Nope.
No, Mother Brain was further down. The map is top left. Might have to blind Mother Brain at this rate. Surely this last door takes us up.
Nope.
Oh wait, we knew that didn't. We actually saw Drocky check it. And I'm actually a little bit surprised it didn't blind Mother Brain after seeing that, but
Yeah, I'd have definitely peeked that door.
this looks to be our progression,
Yeah.
our path to victory. There are still some speed locks we haven't seen,
And
if I'm not mistaken. And
oh, speed lock there.
there it is. You can technically get to Fantoon. You can do Speedless Speedway.
Yeah.
If that's the path. It might not be. Imyt's actually going a different way. You might be the speed right there, behind Botwoon. Potentially.
Yep, there is potentially more troubles.
But yeah, you can go through Frog Speedway right to left with Wave.
Wave beam, which Drocky doesn't have.
Yeah. But
Well, Imyt could do it.
yeah, it doesn't look like you have to, though. Imyt's found a path that's much more direct to the map. This is looking like Crab Hole? Nope. Said it is halfy room.
Help him
Still
sometimes.
one more right door, which we know has to be Fantoon.
Yeah.
See how Imyt wants to run the... Excuse me. How he wants to one-round Fantoon this time, if he wants to use the beam at his disposal, or try to go for a Doppler again for fun.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't get it.
Not this time. Now just gonna use the beam.
Yeah. Save having to refill the missiles. Probably a lot of health drops.
Which is good. We do need some health.
We do.
But also able to use that spring ball to get over the ohms there. Those can be a pain trying to get to that side of this room. But going to get that Mother Brain knowledge, and just need to refill somewhere on the way. There is an E-tank down there, which is good because Mother Brain's actually behind a heated room. Or the entrance is, at least.
Was there an ammo refill station there on the way?
I didn't see one, but there is an E-tank. Or a tank, at least. It could be a reserve still. It was like right below Mother Brain. The ammo doesn't really matter, though. We've got it enough to kill Mother Brain 1, and then just full beam for Mother Brain 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, D-Rocky finding that Mother Brain did not find the path to Fantoon, it looks like. But there actually was a refill here. So, not even going to bother with that tank, most likely. Yeah, D-Rocky now checking out the other areas. Might get to that plasma beam. I think that's the direction he's headed right now.
I think so.
Imyt is on to Mother Brain.
Drocky about to pick up the plasma beam.
Yeah, so that's big. Obviously would have been extra nice if he had found Wave in Meridia. Would have potentially been able to go into a Ridley fight with full beam, which would have been a little bit nicer.
Are we going to see another 2 minutes 20 escape?
I think it's going to be close to that. We have to go... I guess we're already basically at the end of Meridia, but we still have to go all the way through Norfair, and then all the way through Criteria. So... it should be pretty close, I think.
Imyt having no problems in the fight. Nice and clean.
Actually going to be a lot shorter, 130. I guess the Criteria traversal isn't that bad. They already are on that half of the area. Unfortunately, Hyper Beam does not break speed blocks. Also one of the funnier escapes where you have to go into the acid. Getting down.
Through a big pink.
Yeah, our way back to Criteria is down Main Street, which is the bottom left of Big Pink, plus a couple extra rooms. And that leads us down to the right side of Criteria, and once again, we basically just hold right, and it takes us there. Drocky, meanwhile, has not gotten this wrecked ship map yet. Trying to head that way, but... unfortunately,
I don't think
after hitting the map, you will get the bad news that Imyt already done. Makes it to the ship. Finishes with an official time of 48:57, and will win the best of 3 against D-Rocky 2-0. GG's to Imyt.
Well done, Imyt.
I think we'll have both runners joining us for an interview. Don't have a ton of time because we do have another series starting right after on this channel, as you know. That will be a Gameaholic versus
Biffy Thomas.
Biffy. First, we've got our runners here. GG's to both of y'all. How y'all feeling?
GG's.
We'll let the winner talk first.
Well, I guess I could talk about the seeds. I know we got to be quick, but if you have any questions for me, let me know. I will say the second seed at the end, I was definitely really nervous of running into like a speed block. I knew that was super possible because I never found speed. So I was definitely really nervous about that actually. Because I went down into Brinstar, saw that it wasn't Fantoon's map, and just immediately bailed. And that's probably also where Speed was. Probably also where Vario was. I never got either one, though.
Yeah, I saw Brinstar was kind of near the ship, and I saw that Norfair was closer, and I figured, let's go up to Norfair since I'm closer there. And I guess that, in a way, that did save me time since I didn't have to go down to Brinstar and see that there was nothing there, aside from maybe the solids you're talking about. But
Right.
I did blind into Mother Brain, and I checked Turian, and just right you're about to finish. I was afraid I'd get speed blocked as well, thinking that it might have been Fantoon, but it wasn't Fantoon. So I'm guessing now you finished it. Fantoon was where Mother Brain, the same area as Mother Brain.
Right. I knew that because only because Brinstar was like the second to last. Once I got Charge and Plasma, I had a weird spot where I had not killed Ridley yet, and I knew where Kraid was. And there's only 2 zones I haven't checked, which was Meridia and Brinstar. So I ended up grabbing Charge and Plasma, going to kill Ridley, and then I peeped in Brinstar. And as soon as I realized that it wasn't possible to be Fantoon, I knew I had to go Meridia anyways, so I bailed and went Meridia.
Okay, yeah. So good routing there. Yeah, I shambled a bit on the tech for a few things that I'm kind of just disappointed about. A mockball and in the first game, I don't know how much time we have to talk, but the crumble blocks. It's funny. I was comms over a game with Techno Waffle and Unforeseen Menace, and he had a little bit of an issue with that too. And I just thought, it's funny how it just came back to me in just the worst way. So
yeah, I think that first seed was actually incredibly difficult, and I broke sequence really early, so I don't really know how it should have been played. But
you ran into bombs, right?
I don't even know if I found bombs. I did get bombs eventually.
Bombs were pretty early in that seed.
I did get bombs eventually, but I got power bombs way before bombs.
Right, when you did the Golden Torizo.
Yeah, I did. There. Which was kind of like a sequence break. I didn't save, so it was a little risky, but I wouldn't have lost that much time. But doing that allowed me to immediately go in the pick up items, and then I got supers early. And once you have supers more from power bombs, I feel pretty
yeah. So that was the next
confident.
That was the next item progression, because bombs, I believe, was next in progression, and then from there you go straight to power bombs.
Yeah.
So that's what I've discovered is when we sequence break with maybe very hard tech, it doesn't skip that many steps. But if you struggle like I do, I think I spent about 8 minutes trying to do it from one way or the other, eventually getting it after I got bombs. Then obviously I just fall behind, and there's no way to catch up with someone as seasoned as Imyt is. How much time do we have? Yeah, how much time do we have here?
We should wrap it up soon.
Okay.
So,
do you guys have any more questions for us, or?
Just to get your final thoughts, how do you think you played in the seeds?
I actually think I played pretty well, so I'm happy about that. I think sometimes I definitely get a little confused early and run around, but everything seemed to sort of work out. The first seed, even though it was so long, I wasn't really nervous because I knew it was just a difficult seed. So I knew that if I was struggling here, then Rocky was probably also struggling. I didn't really see a route that was a non-struggle route, So I knew that I knew it was just going to be tough anyways.
Yeah, it's a reason why when I veto things, I tend to want things that are maybe more grab but in a way, it also enabled me to kind of focus and have to do tech that I'm not really comfortable with, like the double spring ball jump in Dragon, which I was able to do twice. I was really happy about that, but yeah, it's I knew I'd be running up against a difficult opponent who I think, much respect to everyone else in this tournament, but this is, still one of the favorites in the tournament by virtue of having a bye here and there. And so it was a bit of an upset, and having seen his name right next to mine, I'm thinking, oh man, I got quite a thing here. But it allowed me to play with a more loose mentality. It just unfortunately didn't translate into actual execution, and maybe even some routing that could have been better. But we'll see how I do when I drop into a bracket with players that are probably around my level. Given this is my first tournament, I know a lot of players are doing their first tournament
nice.
as well. But it's been a blast so far. I'm looking forward to it, and best of luck as you continue through the gold.
Oh, thank you, Rocky, and good luck in the other bracket. I think it's really cool they're doing that. So that's dope.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for having us. I'm gonna log off, but GG's, Rocky. Thanks for the matches, and thank you guys for the commentary.
Yeah, thank you, Imyt, and thank you guys for everyone for hosting and getting on comms. I know this was a kind of a late edition, so I appreciate everyone's willingness to get up on here and help make this production really nice. So thank you guys. If you guys are all running at any point, best of luck in your races as well. Thank you.